Hello everybody! Welcome to your Satisfying Crunch. I am your host, Old Fat Guy, and I'm joined on the couch today by Standard White Jesus and overly emotional teenage girl. I'll let you figure out which of us is which. Oh wait.
Weren't you supposed
Aren't you over emotional teenage girl?
Then who's Old Fat Guy?
Me, I guess?
And then that makes you Standard White Jesus?
Apparently.
Okay. Today we're doing something a little bit different.
For those of you who saw our last one, you'll recognize this. For those of you who watched some of our Steven Universe content, you'll recognize it. For those of you who are new and for some reason are watching this one before our Volume 2 episode, this is the part of the show where we talk about 3 things that we like from Volume 2. Last time it was Volume 1. This time it's Volume 2.
That's right. It's 3 things.
By 3 people.
RWBY Volume 2 to the nines.
Alright, and then I'll do an introduction thing here. I'll try to do a better introduction thing than I did last time.
Do you want to put in like flipping cards or?
Well, like pictures of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like, and they'll fly in, and you can have like a
Confetti!
no
confetti.
You would never have confetti.
I don't know how to do confetti.
Then learn. I'm sure there's a YouTube tutorial somewhere.
You can take the effect from Solitaire. You know when you win, it goes pew, 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 and it shoots up the fireworks, and you'll just clip in the Solitaire victory screen as our intro.
Sweet.
Which Solitaire victory would we use? Spider? Harp?
No.
Klondike?
I'm totally gonna put the spider.
Okay.
I'm totally gonna put the solitaire victory screen in there.
Hey!
Alright, today.
That's our obscure reference of the day.
Alright, today we're going to talk about moments and things that we enjoyed in Volume 2 of RWBY. I think we should start out with our favorite quote. The line or
Group of lines
that just really grabbed onto you and made you think this is the one that I'm going to talk about.
When we were discussing this, these are planned beforehand, sorry to break your immersion. I know it doesn't seem like it from the intro, but you know.
Yeah, this is totally scripted.
We do at least 15 minutes of work.
I do almost 15 minutes of work. Anyway.
The first thing that came into mind was, like I said last time, Ozpin has a lot of, great lines, a lot of great quotes, and his little quip to Glinda at the end of the food fight, where she's like, these are supposed to be the future defenders of Vale, and he's like,
and they will be, but right now they're still children. So why not let them play the part? After all, it isn't a role they'll have forever.
That's a really powerful line.
Yeah.
It ties in with one of my favorite parts of Volume 2 as well. We'll get to that in a minute. I like the fact that Ozpin is recognizing the fact that they're children and recognizing that they need to have that time to decompress as well as the time to learn. And it's something that oddly enough is, speaks to our educational system as a whole, where we don't necessarily have a balance between the time spent on your studies and the time spent on just being a kid.
Every time in middle school and high school, it's like, oh, when you get to the next level of education, they won't treat you like children, so we won't either, to prepare you for that. But really...
Right. If somebody would actually just treat you like kids, then you'd be treated like kids and you wouldn't have to worry about it.
yeah.
Exactly.
Alright, what was your favorite line?
It's actually kind of like a group of lines. It's from Dance Dance Infiltration, when John is up on the balcony with Neptune.
I can't dance.
The start of my favorite quote is, I can't dance, man. Just because of his pose and the way that
He's just so
says it.
distraught. He's
Yeah.
so broken up.
It's amazing. I love it. The lines,
You would rather break a girl's heart and go to a dance alone than just admit to everyone that you can't move in rhythm to music? That about sums it up, yeah.
and honestly, I feel like that really captures teenagers.
Yes, I would agree with
And
that.
so it's it's good writing, it's good characterization, and it's really funny at the same time, and I really appreciate that.
Although I do want to hear you talk about your honorable mention, because that line is also very good.
I lied!
I lied!
That was
Again.
so good.
Another brilliant John moment. What about
brilliant
you?
John moment.
For me, you know, I have to go to Nora.
Of
course.
Of course, I have to go to Nora, and it's you're going on life-saving missions, or I'm sorry, you're going on world-saving missions without me.
You're going on world-saving missions without us? I'm hurt, sad. Maybe a little hungry? That last one's not your fault, though. Ren.
It's a
That's
very
your fault.
Joss Whedon line. It's a very Joss Whedon kind of thing to do, and Joss Whedon is, of course, my god.
But that's your fault.
That's your fault. I guess Ren either ate her cookie or
Ren
didn't.
does the cooking, or
Yeah. So I'm not sure why it was Ren's fault that she was hungry, but that was my favorite thing there.
So what's our next thing that we want to discuss? What's number 2 on the list?
I think the number 2 on the list is action scene. What was your action scene that you got into?
I think it was Yang versus Neapolitan. I don't know what to call her, so I'm just gonna call her Neapolitan.
On the train?
Yeah, on the train. One, I really like Neo's fighting style, and then so it was just like a really interesting fight. And then at the conclusion of the fight, we got this amazing bomb dropped. Oh my god, that's Yang's mom.
Yeah.
And so that was just a really interesting fight because
we didn't actually find out that it was Yang's mom at that time. We didn't
Well-
find out it was Yang's mom until the end of the next episode.
Well, we could speculate
They
it.
we
don't even
speculated.
say that it's her mom at the end of the next episode. She says
Well,
we have a lot to talk about.
Unless Yang has come back from the future and
Dyed
has
her
stopped
hair.
dyeing her hair, or
But yeah, the
started
whole red
dyeing her
eyes
hair.
thing, you know,
She's got
it's-
the red eyes. She's got the hair. It was Yang with black hair. I'm on board.
voting mother.
Same.
voting mom. So that was a good moment. For me, wait, did we say action scene?
Yeah. Actually,
Oh man, the fight with the robot was brilliant. That was just the whole thing from start to finish.
combo
Big ass
attacks
robot,
and you know.
combo attacks, hitting the thing, Yang going through the pillar, the throwing each other, the whip move, oh man, I want that. That's what I want to see. I want to see them fight like that every episode. That's what I want to see. So
And
that was
they had
my-
a real gut buster in there with a simple walk and say, hey,
Oh yeah, at the end of that with them
you know,
at the
Sun
end.
and Neptune.
The
and they say, hey, you
little-
think they're okay?
Yeah, they're fine.
They're probably fine, right? Probably.
So what was your favorite action sequence or scene?
The robot was a second runner-up. That was probably one of the big climactic moments. You know, the fight with Neo was really cool. But for me, and this wasn't because it was a cool fight scene, this was, again, gutbuster. I like to laugh, I like to have fun. When he takes out his flamethrower and punts Zwei into the robot, that was incredible. Honestly...
I was just screaming the
Yeah.
entire time about what if he just hurt Zwei. You can't just treat a dog like that.
Well, we're
apparently-
supposed to know that the dog is trained to have aura or something. We were supposed to pick up on that or guess that or something about knowing that Zwei can ignite his aura into fire, and that's supposed to make sense to us intrinsically.
Apparently, maybe
Wait,
it's
that's what happened?
maybe it's in one of those World of Remnant videos that we didn't pay attention to.
Some animals can can light themselves on fire when hit.
But yeah, I think that's a good action scene, and I agree. Your guys' are very engaging, but for me, it has to be the laughs.
All right. Well, for me, my favorite non-action
non-fight
scene
just a good.
was actually a series there, and it was in the city, in the abandoned city, while they were on their quest there, and Oobleck was making the girls question themselves, and So that's the setup to it, and then the scene is when Yang and Blake and Weiss are laying around the campfire, and they're talking about it, and they're exploring their own motivations, and they're exploring themselves and what they really want. And I thought it was a really good moment. It was a really good teaching moment, and it was really a personal moment with the characters. And I really, I think that was. It's what teaching is supposed to be, and it's what learning is supposed to be, and I really like it.
I was actually thinking about using that scene instead for my favorite scene because I just thought about it.
Well, we were talking about favorite action scene. Now we're talking about favorite non-action scene.
No, I know. When he was talking about Zweihander,
It's just
not just Zwei. I blame you.
We
call the show RWBY. We call Glinda Golinda.
Golinda. Golinda.
And I don't see why we can't call him Zweihander just because,
that's who we are.
Because that's who we are, dang it. We're here to rename all of the characters that you love.
Leave the nicknames to us, sweetie.
Alright. So what was your favorite
well, before we move on,
scene?
I did want to talk about it earlier, and so now that we're back on it, I wanted to relate it to what I said about...
that's what I said. It ties in with what you were talking about.
And I think that that's one of the things that we look for in the show is overarching themes. It's subtle, but it's present enough that it builds character without being a snap change of personality and judgment. It allows us to unify the show and get these ideas without hitting us over the head with it. And that's one of the things that we're looking for from the show is more moments like that.
Absolutely.
Where we see those tie-ins, where we see that build of theme and that subtle character realization and building. That's one of the things that we really enjoy. My favorite scene is on the complete other end of the spectrum though. Again, all about the laughs. The dance scene. Not the fact that John was in a dress, although the fact that he came prepared, I loved. I was wondering where he was storing the dress.
This is happening!
But yeah,
that was my second choice for
Nora, she picked up on it immediately. Jean comes out and they're all choreographed, and it was fantastic. And I think it really made that episode and makes you want to watch more of the show to see more stuff like that. What about you?
Great.
So what about you? Non-action scene.
So I'm going to give an honorable mention because I was talking about using this and then.
Go on. Say
okay.
Keep us in the dark here, man.
When Ruby and Yang open the package from home and they get Zwei.
Oh, this is adorable. Please keep it away from my belongings.
Mostly for Weiss and Blake.
Blake was far away.
Just on top of the bed, like, hissing. It was amazing. But I think that I'm gonna turn it to a more serious tone and say when Yang was telling her story to Blake.
Confronting Blake and giving her the exposition.
And she was like, what are you gonna do? If Torchwick walked through that door right now, what would you do?
Yeah.
How would you do that? You can't even stop me.
I'm not asking you to stop. Just please, get some rest.
That was a really powerful moment. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So let us know what your favorite quote, your favorite moment, your favorite action sequence.
Be silly, be serious.
Yeah. And don't feel like you have to limit yourself to those three things. And we will see you in the next video. Which
may not come
well,
out
no,
for a while.
this is going to be put out somewhere in the midst of a storm of Steven universes.
Yeah. So
and sorry.
So you won't be getting more. RWBY
Yeah, we're not going to talk
for a
about
while.
schedules.
Okay.
Until next time, there's always room on the couch.
No.
I can't.